Hello and welcome everyone to a Division II matchup between Wash U and St. Louis's A team versus UC Berkeley's B team. These are two extremely strong teams, and I'm really excited to watch them play. So let's head right into it. We should have them playing. Here we have Mockingbird, who is a DT of the fourth board from Wash U, versus Hood C. Actually, I don't have them on the scoreboard, so I actually didn't see uh the players submit their rosters, but it was because this is probably the first match that they're playing, so it's actually likely that they have submitted, but maybe on the wrong uh page on the site. So, anyways, it's all good. We will update this. So let me actually fix this really quick. We also have Charles, who is playing against Han Zhang. Trying to figure out the matchups. But yeah, I don't see all the players yet either. So hopefully they'll all start tuning. Okay, actually I have them all. What's up, Brent? Okay, so I have Bosca Chess versus Snar, who this also isn't on their lineup. Okay, I got some scoreboards to fix up. Okay. I see what's going on here. So Bosca Chess versus Snar. Snar is Samick, who is one of the leaders from Wash U. Bosca Chess. Let me see. Hi, Nicholas Bartachowski, I believe is a top word. What's up, Bryce? How are you? Chi-Town 2300 and Mockingbird 2214. Samick 22. Chi-Town 23. Hyatt 22. So probably I have to move these two players. And the Berkeley team, I gotta add Bosca Chess. We have Brian online, who is playing Hai. We have Metex Urgio versus Chi-Town. So I think that's the right spot. We have Hood C versus Mockingbird. I have to add these players really quick. Hood C is Christopher Pan. I believe this would be their top board, 2453. Very strong B team player. Metex Urgio is their bottom board in the 1900s. Brain Online 2082. And Bosca Chess 2008. Yeah. So Brian Online should be their board 2. Right? Yeah, you should be. So he should be playing Samick right now. but he is playing Hai, who's also board 2. So the ratings are weird, but that's okay. What's up, Freddie? D2 is stacked. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this Berkeley team could have made D1 last year. Yeah, Hai should be the second highest rated, 22-25. Oh, he's not. It's Samic. Okay, that's why I got it wrong. Okay. But that at least makes sense. So, Brian Online, and then I need to change the third board, who is Bosca Chess. So let me see if I can find Bosca Chess. And then I'll be all good to go. Let's see. This is Basan Surin Erdine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am good to go. So here we are, the updated scoreboard. Finally, and we haven't even finished round 1. We still got all 4 games being played. Let's watch some entertaining Division 2 chess, shall we? We got all 8 players tuned in that are playing their games. This player, Chi-Town. Chi-Town is Charles Troutman, top board from Wash U. Enjoying this huge time advantage, as well as perhaps a positional advantage. Going after these weak pawns. White's got to defend. And Black is playing instantaneously. Black is also up a pawn. This is the top board versus the bottom board from Berkeley. And Berkeley's Flare, the crying emoji, versus the smiling emoji. I wonder if the players changed this mid-match or if that just worked out perfectly. I don't know, but it seems to perfectly encapsulate this scenario here. Oh, you got the JoeBot command, Ashworth. All right. So now Charles is up 2 pawns. What just happened here? Pawn push. That was a sacrifice to open up the rooks, but the king steps up. We lose the h-pawn, but now we have this pawn. Trying to win this one, it seems. I think rook c6 should be safe. The threat is to give this check. Or no, I think it's this. What is the threat? Is there rook d7 check? I don't think so. I think the king will run away and make its way maybe to g5. So there's no perpetual. I see you, Freddie. So yeah, Charles is running with that b pawn. Maybe rook b7. Try to trade these rooks and get behind the pawn. But then maybe king here? No. Rook check. King here. Rook takes. King takes. Rook takes. So actually, yeah, rook b7, I'm not so sure. That's kind of interesting. But only 20 seconds. This guy's got to move. Looks like Bosca Chess is also in some time pressure. 40 seconds to 2.5 minutes. But looks like Bosca Chess is playing really well against Samic, though. What's going on over here? What is going on over here? The knight's coming in, attacking the rook. Rook g8 seems like the play. And it's been played. Probably, no, the queen covers that. That's interesting. King steps up. Yeah, I would not take this pawn because queen here, super strong. This knight is preventing the queen check. And queen here unleashes the attack on the knight. The knight doesn't have that many squares. So this queen's doing a very important job of covering e7. So Samic's up a lot of time, but it's actually not that much time. It's only a minute. Oh, and he takes. So queen e7, no? Queen e7 looks super strong. What's the plan here? What are you doing, Samik? Let's go back here. Only 10 seconds. Oh, Chi-Town was at such. I mean, Chi-Town's got 4 minutes, and this is this is top board versus bottom board, and actually, Metek's Urgio. Oh, King F4, huge skewer blunder. Oh my goodness, Charles getting the time pressure luck. I mean, I don't know. That was a dead drawn position, if not slightly worse. Okay. So that just happened. Charles, I don't know. That was kind of lucky. They looked like they were doing much better earlier. But let's check on Mockingbird. This is a bottom board from WashU. Only 3 seconds. 1 second. Okay, looks like they're getting mated soon. Can Hood find the win in 20 seconds? Let's see. Rook check. King back. Another rook check, perhaps. I suppose. Not that much time for either player. Queen takes. Rook check. There's always rook d2. I mean, rook check against the queen, but also rook check here. Rook here trying to find some shelter this way. Queen comes in. King steps aside, looking for this queen trade here. 4 seconds. Trading queens. King up, and yeah, black's going to win with these pawns. That should be pretty simple for Hood to convert. I believe that is Chris, the top board from Berkeley's B team. Let's check in with Bosca and Samik. Bosca and Surin. Both players less than 25 seconds. Let's see. Looks like Bosca's completely winning. What happened, Samik? Yeah, Samik let the queen get to e7. You couldn't take on a2. No way. Takes, and you lose the rook at the very end here. Yeah, let's see. After queen here. Hey, interestingly, queen here. I don't know why we didn't just take this. That's a huge check. That wins the knight. Yeah, it takes. Yeah, this was not good. Maybe you're getting mated here, so you have to take the knight, but then you lose this. All right. So Bosca, the upset over Samik. And we also had Hood with the points. So right now Berkeley's up 2-1. We got 1 game left in round 1. Let's see. Looks like White's got the advantage here with this pawn. I would maybe consider this, but this pawn might run. Let's see. Rook to g5. Rook check. But you got to defend this guy, though. You kind of have to go back, or you go to h7, or you give it up. So just going for the rook activity here, but now like bishop here. Right? Where does the knight go? Here. Oh, that's a fork. But there's rook b8 check. King over. Oh, attacking, but you have to go here? No, rook check first, and then go here. Okay, that's a pin, but we can get out of it. Or we can give bishop check. Here, check, king move. 10 seconds for both players. Here, bishop check. That looked like a pre-move. Rook over, looking for the skewer. Oh, and there's the skewer! Oh, Brian. We've seen this twice now. We've seen this twice. Oh my goodness. Pen. King back. Bishop in, king in. Oh, there's a fork! Both players messing up, but White's got all the pawns in the world. Every pawn you could ever ask for. Oh man, both rooks were lost. They come and gone. Okay. Pawn push. King here. Oh, that was a bad pre-move. Alright, that should be game over now. That should be game over now. Queen on the board, hoping for stalemate. Resignation, okay. Let me put in this result. Who won this one? Hi. Nicholas Bartachowski. So tied 2-2 after 1. Here we got Samek versus Metasergio. Han Zhang. Han had a even position against Charles, who was crushing on the clock, and that time advantage turned into a huge blunder from Han, who got his king and rook skewered at the very end to lose the game. Samek lost to Bosca Chess, the board 3 from Berkeley. So looking to get a point here from the bottom board of Berkeley. So let's see. We have f4, f5 on the board. Pawn takes, bishop takes, probably. Perhaps. Perhaps not. This c3 pawn is hanging. So the bishop defends that. This pawn is hanging. But black is up 2 pawns. So even if you give one back, you're still up a pawn. Let's see. What is black's plan? Do you try to save this? Would you push this pawn? What is white's compensation for 2 pawns? This pawn is weak. We can grab this pawn right away. In fact, why don't we do that? That pawn is hanging now too. Maybe we just push this. Thank you for the follow. Kiggy Cud. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, so h3 is played. Black is definitely not defending this for some reason, but I think white should take, and they do. Bishop takes, rook takes. That's what we see. Now rook comes with tempo against the queen. Queen's gonna move somewhere. Deciding to go to f3. Looks like we might be able to triple up on the f file. This knight doesn't have many great places to go. Knight here comes with tempo. Queen goes all the way back. Very interesting. Very interesting. This covers the square from the knight. Also stays away from the e file for discoveries. You don't want to go to h5 because of the fork. So that does open this up, but not by enough, not by much. The knight probably wants to go to f3. It won't let me draw an arrow there for some reason. I'm trying as hard as I can. There it is. It was not working, I promise. I wasn't making that up. I can draw arrows just fine, okay? I will not have my arrow drawing abilities questioned. Just double checking here. All right. But I don't know. This trade doesn't seem great. Like white is down material, right? This rook needs to get in though. The knight goes directly back. So maybe we'll see queen to f3. Who knows? If you go knight f3, the rook is actually kind of short on squares, but it's not obvious how to attack it. Okay, so there goes another pawn. There goes that second pawn. Actually, yeah, this last move. So after we take the bishop, this pawn's been hanging. So actually in this position, we maybe should have taken this pawn, which I'm surprised was not played. Queen takes d5. So after the knight goes back, now d5 is taken, but with a rook. The knight comes here. Ooh, this is looking gnarly, actually. The rook is hit, rook goes to f5, and now knight e2 check and knight takes on d4. That's going to ruin white's pawns and potentially even win a pawn, actually. So check. Oh, and if the king goes here, that's a huge fork. That is the family of all forks. And that actually might be the best move. King h1, now there's bishop to g3 check. The rook is immune. You can't go back. You have to step forward into the fire. And then there's going to be a queen check. That's going to do it. That king here, I mean, I don't know. Bishop g3, king up to f3. Forced. Only move. Queen c6. Oh, no. You can't. You got to go to g4, and then what? There's queen g6 check, rook block. I don't know, man. Then there's probably rook sacrifice, queen takes, queen takes. You got to go here. And then, oh my goodness, queen h4 there would be mate. I think the mating sequence was missed. Queen c6 check was there. What just happened here? So we have knight takes. I'm not a big fan of this. Queen check. If this goes, this goes. Maybe white can sneak out of it, but I don't know. This is looking really iffy. But yeah, queen c6 definitely missed. Queen takes pawn. Wait, this drops this though. King takes, queen takes. So now white can breathe a little bit, only down a pawn. Obviously the king's not very safe. Maybe you want to go king h2. No, just playing b5. Not even like moving any of these pieces. Just saying, you know, this is normal. This is all fine, part of the plan. King h1, and now if queen check, we can simply just retreat, and we're actually back to h1, where we should have belonged this whole time. So the king had quite the journey. g1, f3, or f2, f3, g4, g3, h2, h1. What a roller coaster. And look at the time difference. 10 seconds to 2.5 minutes. Absolutely wild game that we're witnessing right now. Samik's king is quite the traveler. Queen here, not sure. Oh my goodness, you guys. There's rook takes f7. Rook takes f7. Rook a8, check. Take the queen. Take the rook with mate. Is white going to find it? They do. They do. And now what? Oh, and they blundered mate. Samik's been doing their puzzle rush. Oh, wow. So meta, I'm pretty sure, had a forced mate with queen c6. Missed it, and then goes down to Samik. So Han has been playing well, but the time pressure has been too much. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's check in with Hood versus Nicholas. Christopher versus Nicholas. 2 national masters going at it. Season 4 is going great, Diamond Cutter. Let me know if you want to join in for some commentary. I'm sure we'd love to have you back. Yeah, shout out to Diamond Cutter 1. You guys should go check out his channel. He's been doing commentary for us from last season. Good to see you, Wikipedia. Wikipedia, the leader from Temple. A regular here. Always good to see. We're watching a Division 2 matchup, and we got some strong national masters here. That's essentially what it takes for D2. I mean, these are some of the top teams in D2. But yeah, this game looks like we got both sides castled king side. And Nicholas is launching the H-pawn. perhaps trying to play knight g4. Pawn takes, pawn takes. We got the rook coming over or something. I don't know. But it looks like g3 has the intention of playing h4. Hello, Samic. Samic just winning their game. Samic, I think you were mated, dude. I think your king went on a little walk to the end, but it was missed. I think your king lived to tell the tale, and you survived. Not only survived, but you thrived. Rook takes. The rook sacrifice at the end was really nice. Your opponent could not take that back, and they did. Yeah. No one on Temple A has an OTV title, though. You should have one, Wikipedia. You're stronger than these guys. Come on. You're like 2,400. But yeah, I mean, obviously, not every D2 team is going to have national masters. Berkeley B team is definitely like one of the top D2 teams. Like I said at the beginning, they have a team average over 2,300, which last season would have been good enough for Division 1. So the D2 teams are just super competitive this season. All right, so looks like Nicholas is under some severe time pressure. They decide on King H8. I'm personally not the biggest fan of this move. I think King... Oh, no. You know it's not good when the king is shuffling. The king's busting out some dance moves. And both times the king moved, I think king to h7 would have been more useful because the rook could go to the h-file, perhaps. But it's not easy to open up the h-file because you push the h-pawn and it gets closed on you. So let's see. Where's the knight going, actually? Probably back to c4. I don't know what the hold up here is. Maybe they want to play g4, and they do play g4. But now it's queen here or queen here. That was found, and now the knight should really move now. And you got to go to c4. 10 seconds for Nicholas. Over a minute for Christopher. So we have h4 from black. This keeps the file closed. White insists and plays g5. The knight steps back. Takes with rook. The rook wants to come to f3. Would be my guess. King h8 again, getting off the g-file. Maybe knight here. Knight here defends this. Now the knight's coming in. Oh, the rook covers smothered mate. Oh my god, I thought we smothered mated ourselves. Oh, it's so close. Okay, knight check here. Pawn goes. Can we distract this rook, please? That's a fork. Oh my goodness. Offer a queen trade. I mean, force the queen trade. That was a pen. So up the exchange, but also up a pawn. Christopher takes the game. Nicholas goes down. What a game. What a game from the Berkeley top board. Let's check in with Charles versus Basan Surin. So Charles won their first round game. So did Basket Chess. Charles kind of got lucky, honestly, against the Berkeley bottom board. So let's see how this one's going. Charles has been playing with a lot of time pressure. So Basket Chess is playing with the black pieces. They seem to be up 3 whole pawns. And last I checked, that's a lot of pawns. That was an exchange sacrifice. I'm confused what's happening. What just happened here? So black is moving down the board. They have this passed pawn. It's defended by the bishop. Rook comes here. There's no check, though, because the bishop covers that. There goes that pawn. Not taking this pawn. Yeah, this is actually very peculiar. So defending this, rook here, I guess that threatens this. But why don't we go here? I'm not sure. They threefold repeat. So Bosca was up 3 pawns, sacked the exchange, and was up 3 pawns for the exchange. And then they just threefolded, I guess. Look at this threefold, though. Here, 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 here. So every time the king goes here, that threatens mate, so the king retreats. But why? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else they could have done. But that is a draw between Charles and Boston Surin. So what else did I miss? Sonic beat them, Hood beat them, and then the 2 games that I didn't finish watching, I just lost. Really unfortunate. I don't see the result. So I gotta go check on what happened in Mockingbird's game, and is that it? Who was Mockingbird playing? He played Brian online. Yeah, that's one of the downsides of spectating these games, is that sometimes when a new game starts, it just completely goes over whatever I was just looking at. Okay, so let me try finding this. So Brian Online lost to Mockingbird. So that is an upset for Wash U. And so we have the score at 3.5 to 4.5. Wash U is up by 1. We have 3 games here in the 3rd round started. I don't see the 4th one. Actually, maybe it's because I'm not following all the right ones. Let's see. No, I'm following them. I'm following all of them. Yeah. So we're just missing 1 game, but that's okay. See, here's Charles back at it again with the huge time gain from the get-go. They were up 15 seconds out of just 10 moves or 11 moves. So now they're using some of their added time back. I love this pawn structure symmetry here between these pawns. We've formed the X. In fact, the only non-symmetry is h3, so black clearly has to play h6. If they don't play h6, I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah, that's a good question, Wikipedia. So Sonic is playing right now. So I would be surprised to see them respond in the chat. But that is a good question. I do know who you're talking about. They are not playing right now, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Sonic seems to be down a pawn. Is it this pawn? Can they take that pawn back? Can they take this knight? They take here. I think that loses a piece. Correct me if I'm wrong, but knight takes d4 looks pretty good. Why does the CA for this match have -1 for both teams? I would assume it's late roster. I have no idea. Okay, so they went with the queen check. Queen takes. So they gained the pawn back. So why is the computer like black a lot more? Maybe it's this activity. I guess king up. King g2, trying to hold on to all these pawns. This pawn wishes it could go backwards. But unfortunately, it cannot. Samik's king knows no fear. Samik's king. He's a fighter. Oh, that's weird. Sack the exchange. Not sure if that was planned. Queen takes pawn. Dude, what is this? Samik getting the exchange from the National Master. Going to f4. That seems safe. That seems like a safe thing to do. Yeah, rook e8 was probably missed by Chris. Not the best place for the rook to go. So that's an exchange in hand. So that's nice. That's always handy. I like a lot of the players have these emoji flares. But unfortunately, I don't think Chris is loving their position as much as their emoji would suggest. Let's check in with the bottom board here. Mockingbird from WashU, Aditya versus Bosca Chess. Bosca Chess is doing well. They're at 1.5 out of 2, so they haven't lost yet. That's a gnarly check from white. You can't really take back, can you? Unless you want to do the double rook sack. The old double rook sack. So probably you move the king somewhere. My guess would be e7. Because then you're threatening to take this. But yeah, it doesn't seem great. I think Mockingbird forgot about this old pin here. So queen's stepping up, attacking the bishop. The queen steps up, and that hangs this actually. But let's see. Why can't we take this right away? Because of queen takes? Yeah, that's so smart. b4. What a crazy good move. Oh man. Bosca Chess laying down the hammer. Such a strong move. b4. So pretty. Pawn takes and now bishop takes, and now the queen is overloaded. Right? Because the queen is defending both knight and bishop. Because after queen here, rook here, this pawn's pinned once the queen leaves the defense of the rook. So after queen here, queen lifts up and that hangs the rook. So pawn here first to distract the bishop, or separate the bishop from the queen and the knight. After the capture, bishop takes, you just lose a piece. Beautiful sequence from white. And the queen goes back to the starting square. No pieces developed from white, but they've won a piece. Black yet to castle. Doesn't b4 knight takes b4 work for black? The knight was pinned by the queen. The knight's pinned. That's a huge downside of not being castled. Also, the rook on b8 is hanging, so that's also a downside of not castling. So, yeah. You can't take this back unless you want to lose material. Assuming you don't, so pawn takes here instead. Queen takes, maybe we push this, play against the isolated pawn, but yeah, kind of tough to play this down a piece. Charles winning their next game, so they're at 2.5 out of 3. So what happened here against Brian? So takes, attack the queen. So actually, this isn't even, I mean, just didn't want to give up that activity, I guess. Takes here. Not sure why we don't trade. Okay, here, take this. Bishop check, queen check. Oh, that's such a nice mate. Knight takes f7, dude. Wow. Takes, check, and mates. So pretty. Samik also with a checkmate of their own. So we gave Charles their point. We'll make sure to give Samik their point. Yeah, Samik had this really nice. Okay. They hung the rook, but their opponent hung the king. So that was a worthy trade. Let's check in with the bottom board from Berkeley, Han Zhang, who for once is not in time pressure and is winning. They're up material. Let's see. Yeah, there's queen takes here. This knight's pinned, right? Black's threatening to take on b7. You could take with a rook, but you'd still be in a pin. So there would be something like rook here. If rook takes knight, there's queen fork. This hits the queen. Beautiful, beautiful outpost square, by the way. Knight here, this also hits the queen. Knight takes, probably queen takes or d takes, but probably queen takes because you are... Oh, it takes here. That's a fork. Can we not go... Can we not... I don't know. Okay, rook here. So yeah, queen takes c7 was kind of weird, not gonna lie. Let's see. Four seconds for Nicholas. Hello again, Brent. He's too busy to play. That is unfortunate. So I mean, what the... Did white just lose a piece? So the advantage is slowly dwindling. Offering queen trade. Can we go queen b7? Hello? Hello, and how do you do? Rook here, but that's a free rook. Only 4 seconds. Okay, how about rook here and go for checkmate? Hello? You just lost a pawn. You're gonna lose another pawn. Oh my god, they're down to 2 seconds. Here. Back rank mate! Oh no! Oh! Han Zhang is having the roughest match. No, I almost gave them a point for that. No, you will not be awarded, Han. You will get no points. Oh, what a blunder. Oh man, Han Zhang literally in a like dead even position or even better position just loses in time pressure like every single game it's been. 3 games in a row now. 3 losses from an even or better position. That's a heartbreaker. That hurts. Oi. Man. Han Zhang, they gotta practice their bullet. What is happening here? They're losing a queen. Mockingbird. So queen here, rook here, and they're... I mean, okay. I guess it's defended a lot of ways, but... That is unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah, I think that is. So white should win this one. That'll give some points back to Berkeley. This is the board 3 for Berkeley B, but they're the point getter. There you got a pre-move. I mean, you gotta hope for the pre-move. You block with a rook there and hope that they have queen takes rook pre-moved, but then you take back. Obviously, rook block is the worst move. But like, I mean, either way, you're losing the rook, so you might as well hope. You never know. That's got to be your last try before you resign. Pro tip there, I guess. So Bosca chess, they're at 2.5 out of 3. And Berkeley has 2 players with 0 points. Wash U only needs 1 point. They need 1 point to win the match. Can Berkeley B sweep the 4th round and pull off the comeback? I doubt it, but we're gonna see. All right, Samic answering questions in chat to Wikipedia, but they gotta play their last game. Samic's at 2 out of 3. Nicholas is at 2 out of 3. Charles at 2.5 out of 3. I mean, everyone's working for Wash U. They're producing. Let's see. We got an attack here on this king. This king's surrounded by its bodyguards. Can black get to this king? What even happened in this game? So we have a fianchettoed knight. You love to see it. A sacrifice for 2 pawns. Trade, check. King all the way back. Trade a fianchettoed bishops. So let's see. A piece for 2 pawns. What do we think? Is it enough? I mean, this pawn is hanging. Can we defend that pawn? Probably not. So it's going to be a piece for 3 pawns. A piece for 3. Well, if you take this, you lose that. But then I thought knight here looked pretty good. Attack this and this, but like this knight covers that check. This rook defends that. So maybe the knight wants to go here. Pawn takes, attack the knight, force the knight out, block the rook, and then win this with check. With this beautiful pawn here. The king would have to go here. And then what is a great question. I'm not sure. But that seems to be the logical route for the knight. So the king might actually want to step out of the check. But then this rook's going to be really short on squares, actually. Where the heck would the rook go? No, you would just still take this. And then maybe there's also like a queen pin on the knight to the king, but the king would simply just step out of that. So let's see. We got the 4th and final round. I'm waiting for my game. All right, well, it looks like Samic has found the game. Samic, I could have sworn was at like 21.99 or something, but they're up to 2,300 now. So yeah, Samic's playing against Brian. Brian's the board 2 in this match, and looks like Samic's got a positional advantage here. After the bishop goes back, the knight goes here trying to attack the bishop again without ruining the pawn structure. This pin, though, allows for Samic to take here and take here. And instead of taking with the queen, losing this pawn with tempo, white decides to ruin the pawn structure to hold on to the material. So a bold statement from Brian, and Samic's going to try to take full advantage of this. First and foremost, attacking the weakened pawn on h3. The king steps up to defend. And now we have the beautiful knight takes d4, saying you tried to hold on to this pawn. Well, I'm going to take it from you anyways, because if queen takes, then we got the knight check, sacrifice, discovery attack on the queen. So white does not take the knight. The bishop's attacked by the pawn. Yeah, this is strong play here from Samic. And I'm wondering if we could get a knight in here. That'd be great, but the bishop would take it. And the knight couldn't get there anyways because the knight would take here. And we could maybe try to go this way. But first, white just covers that square anyways with f4. And the bishop could have taken here, but I don't know if they would have. Pawn takes opens up the rook, but yeah. Can Brian come back from this pawn deficit? There's so much time left in this game. A lot of chess left. Chi-Town just won by resignation. So it looks like the piece sacrifice paid off. So let's see. Here it takes rook to the h-file, queen to the h-file. This pawn's a monster. And yeah, you're not stopping queen h1. So Hood, the top board from Berkeley, goes down to Chi-Town, who went flawless, 3.5 out of 4, no losses. Maybe not flawless, but the win there secures the win for Wash U over UC Berkeley's B team. So really strong performance. This was a really high-rated Berkeley team. Might not have had their full roster submitted today, but this was just their first round of 7, so they got a lot of matches left this season. Berkeley definitely one of the higher-rated teams in D2. They're definitely looking to make playoffs, so they might have lost this match, but they'll be back. And Wash U starting off strong. I forgot actually how Wash U did last season. How did you guys do? Sonic is playing their game, but maybe they'll answer later. But yeah, this match is technically over in terms of score, but the board points matter in tie breaks, so the players are still playing on. There's still something to fight for. And after this match, we have another match coming up, UC Santa Barbara's B team versus Santa Clara University. So that should be exciting. So let's see what's happening with Samick. So Samick grabbed that pawn on d4 with a nice tactic, trade off that bishop, taking the pawn on e4. This is another tactic, removing the defender of this knight. So the queen steps here, attacking the pawn, attacking the knight, defending this knight. Knight takes pawn, and we have rook here, which is pretty interesting. Not attacking the knight. And here Samick says, all right, I am up 3 whole pawns. It is time to trade down. So let's get the ladies off the board. If queen takes pawn, we have queen takes knight. If knight takes pawn, then queen takes queen. So we trade queens first. Pawn takes, and then knight takes on d6. That attacks this pawn as well. This pawn's hit. This pawn's hit. But again, black is up 2 pawns. So defending this one, if pawn takes, we'll probably see knight takes with check. And yeah, probably just like taking this, or okay, h takes, knight takes. Interesting. So there's no time to take here now. UMich destroyed Wash U and the wild cards in D1. So they did make playoffs. Yeah, I think Wash U didn't have like the best performance, but it looks like they're coming back with a vengeance. Also, UMich A, that's D1, right? So Wash U made playoffs in D1. So UMich A, they're still in D1, I believe. I think they just lost to Mizzou last weekend. So Wash U has been demoted, I guess you could say, to D2. But honestly, what I think it is that D1 just got so much stronger. Hello, Halvard. How are you? So White has gotten a pawn back. They're only down 1. They're definitely down in development. But yeah, I mean, White's trying to be tricky here. They're now no longer down any pawns. So that's cool. Bishop now takes. Bishop takes here, so back up a pawn for Samick. But Brian's playing well, all things considered. Time's relatively even. This pawn's going to be hard to defend. Probably rook f5 to hold on to any advantage. That actually saves both of these pawns. So they find that. Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate that. Love having you. Let's check on Mockingbird versus Meta. So Mockingbird has the least amount of points from the Wash U team, only 1 point. But Wash U, like I said, they've won the match, so it doesn't really matter. But what does matter to me personally is for Han Shang to not get swept. As the 4th board, your opponents start off really strong in round 1, and then it gets easier and easier as you go down. So this will be Han's easiest matchup in terms of rating. Can they take advantage of it? They're technically up. They seem to be up material. Okay. Queen takes with check. King over. Knight takes e5. Ooh, that's a gnarly move. But again, the time pressure. Han, I swear. Han, move. Make a move. 5 seconds, buddy. Knight h8. That's also good. That wins the knight. That wins the knight. The queen can't go anywhere and save the knight. So yeah, knight here was probably a really weird move. Knight takes, there's rook takes. Or knight check, there's rook takes. Because the queen is still hanging, and that rook is defended by the pawn. There's no time to take back. So the problem is Han has 6.9 seconds, which it might seem nice, but it's not a lot of time. So the queen drops back, but now there's king takes. Queen check, king back. Queen check. Oh my goodness, are they getting the piece back? Wow, they got the piece back. What a sequence. Oh my goodness. Queen takes pawn. Oh no, 2 seconds. Oh, it's gonna deteriorate. I feel it. I can feel it. Queen over. Oh, the pawn's gonna start pushing. Oh no. Okay. Rook g1. Wait, how do you stop mate? Oh my god, no. Odd. Oh god. How does white find this miracle tactic? So queen back. So best move apparently is bishop to c6, and the knight's still... Is the knight still trapped? I'm actually confused. How is bishop c6 the best move? Oh, because of discovery. Oh, that's gnarly. That's gnarly. So king takes, queen h4, king g8, queen d8. I guess you have to block with the queen. Or... Here... Man, that's just wild. That is wild. But I mean, black is still winning. Like... Yeah, here is just the time pressure again. I guess he has to just play faster. That is so rough and unfortunate. But we have one last game left. Let's see. Bosca won their game, so they also were undefeated at 3.5 out of 4. So Brian is another player that is 0 for 3. Can Brian do something here? They're up a piece, but what exactly is going on? It looks like there's a mate threat. It's not really mate because you can block with the knight. So king f8, and now this pawn is running. King steps off the back rank. Okay, the pawns are just running, so we have a race. Knight here. So if pawn push, we're gonna have rook here. So the rook goes here first, but now the knight can cover the back. Am I streaming any matches tomorrow or Friday? I don't think so tomorrow. I think the answer to that is no. But Friday, I most likely will be. 2 seconds for Brian. He's made a queen, so he wins. Oh, you better take it. You don't take it. Would you have lost if you didn't take? Take, pawn push, rook here or something? Was that just losing? I don't know. Samik should win this. Right? Or are they going to lose this pawn? If only the knight could teleport there, that would be sick, but no. So can you win up a knight? I don't think so, but there's time pressure. And knights are tricky. A knight here would be a fork, but it's penned. So yeah, you kind of want to keep your king and rook on opposite colors because then you can never get them forked. Also, yeah, if your pieces are 3 away like that, you can never get forked. And yeah, opposite colors, you can never get forked. But this king is already corralled to the 2nd rank, so maybe black is making some progress. Or the flag. Yeah, that works too. So Samik goes to 3 out of 4, and a strong performance from WashU, sweeping 2 of Berkeley's players. And they have a final score of 10.5 to 5.5. So strong start from the WashU team.